which is
#1 rated cruise port, Scuba Steve.
we're here at Terminal 5 for a very special cruise day indeed. In case you were wondering, parking for a 5-night sailing is $109.14. Hey, 9/14, that's our anniversary!
Huzzah!
And actually, our anniversary makes me think of why it's a special sailing for us this sailing. It actually doesn't have anything to do with our anniversary. But this sailing is taking us back to our roots, our humble beginnings. You remember these little babies?
Hey everyone, so we just got on board Royal Caribbean's Mariner of the Seas.
Yay!
Yeah, this is a ship that is not brand new, but it feels and looks brand new because it just had over $100 million put into it.
That clip came from our very first vlog about 5.5 years ago on board this ship, Mariner of the Seas. So we're taking it back and we're sailing on her again.
So let's go ahead and get it started. Day number 1 on board Royal Caribbean's Mariner of the Seas begins.
For the second time.
Right. Now.
Since we are kicking it old school today, I felt it very necessary and appropriate to go with a headband look today. Have to represent the tie-dye headband on Throwback Day.
Still no whale tail? After all this time? Always.
Ooh, it is about 1:30 right now, and it is a busy Saturday today in PC. So as busy as it was, the whole process, security and then checking in, only took about like 20 minutes, so not too bad. Now it's time to go take our cruise picture. No, just kidding, we never do that, but they're here if you want to. Here we go, walking down the gangway, doing the uphill gangway walk. Here we go, Matt. These feet have not stepped on this ship since you were a vlogging newbie. These feet didn't even know Allbirds yet. Time to take a blast into the past. Yay! We entered the ship right here, and we literally walked right into our muster station, right here at the dining room. So we're gonna go in and do that now.
It's another blast from the past.
Does this number look familiar? If it does, you've been watching way too many of our videos too often. But no, it's the same room we stayed in the first time we went on Mariner.
The exact one. So this was the first room tour we ever filmed, was of this room, and I'm gonna do a new one up to date. But this was actually one of the rooms. You see this stretch of 4 rooms here, interior rooms, and you see how the carpet and the doorways kind of look different. These were added during Royal Amplification back whenever, 2018 I think.
5.5 years ago.
Yeah, so this is a newer-ish room.
It was really new the first time. It's still newer than the other ones this time.
Much newer than the other ones. Here we are, once again. We're inside our room. Yeah, you can tell. It's definitely got some updated decor and style compared to ships of this age.
I mean, it's still really nice, like 5 years later. 5.5.
Smells clean, looks clean. Can't complain.
Yeah, no, it's good. This room in general is HHT history in of itself, but that couch right there, that is really a piece of history because that is where me and you sat our little tookuses right there and started our very first vlog for the very first time. We didn't show the boarding process. We didn't show coming onto the ship. We just came into the room, we sat there, and we started vlogging. Then we did stuff around the ship, but that couch right here, this baby, is where it started.
And I said we filmed a room tour. This was the first room tour we filmed, but in fact, if my memory serves, we actually just filmed kind of showing the room as part of the vlog, and then you decided to make it its own room tour video. And that was our first video that ever like kind of took off. So
yeah,
we're like, oh.
For us it did well.
Yeah.
We're like, oh, let's just keep doing that. So that's why we do room tour videos. Yeah, we're learning stuff today, aren't we?
So our boarding time today was 1:30, and I know most people prefer an earlier boarding time because they want to get on board and get into all the action and all the fun, and that's totally understandable. You and I actually prefer boarding later though.
Well,
if it's not like an inaugural or something like that, if we don't have a ton of stuff to do.
Here's the thing with us, because we cruise so often, we're not like trying to like cram a bunch of stuff into cruises, right? Like
maximize our time.
Our time is a little bit more flexible. So boarding like later, like after 1 o'clock, the room's already ready, so we don't have to like deal with the porter stuff. Like we can just carry our luggage on, and we have a small amount of luggage, so that's easy for us. And then we can just bring it right to the room and unpack and kind of get settled in. And it's usually not as busy if it's like a little bit later, which we also like.
Usually. Today, not the case.
It was a little busier than usual, but it still moved fast. Like, it only took like 20 minutes to get through.
Here's my theory. We are not at a Royal Caribbean dedicated terminal today, like over at Terminal 1. This terminal changes out cruise lines. So whenever that happens, it feels like it kind of just bogs down the efficiency a little bit. So.
But, I mean, it was probably even busier this morning.
Oh, yeah.
So it's, it kind of depends. I understand, like, especially if you're on like a 3 or 4 night sailing, it's like, I want to get on as early as possible so I can get like maximize your time.
Yeah, absolutely.
And when we're on certain sailings like inaugurals or 3 or 4 nights, like we're like that too. But a 5 night, a ship we've been on, nothing like super new going on. We'll mosey on. Boarding day hunger starting to set in, so let's go get some grub. Whoa, Windjammers is busy right now, which is, typical for boarding day that Windjammer is going to be busy, but I don't even know if we're gonna find a place to sit. I mean, this is pretty slammed. Yeah, we just circled the entire Windjammer. Not one seat available. Which, I'm not really sure why. It's not like this Windjammer is like crazy smaller than other ones we've been on. Or, I mean, we've been on boarding day before too. I don't know if it's because it's about to close, or there seems to be a lot of like first timers on this cruise. Maybe it's that, like they gravitate towards the buffet because it's like the first thing you hear of. I don't know, but we're gonna try someplace else because this is way too busy. Woo! And the pool deck is looking equally as busy. Wow! I mean, it's a beautiful day. I can't blame people for being out here and enjoying it. It's gorgeous. When the free buffet is too busy, come to an additional cost place and it'll be less busy. Not that it's empty. I mean, there's actually like a good amount of people here for it being lunchtime. But still less busy than the Windjammer. It's actually pretty serendipitous that we ended up here today on day 1 because we ate here day 1 on Mariner the first time.
And the first time we ever ate at Playmakers.
This Playmakers is what started our love affair with Playmakers. This was the location. Well, not this table. It was actually one of these promenade tables here. It was either this one or that one. I don't remember which one, but they were taken up, so we came inside. But we're still in viewing point of our first Playmaker spot.
And we're gonna go with the pile on nachos when we're at Playmakers. Add that pulled pork. It's worth it. Take it easy. And we also got our favorite buffalo crunch roll and the Playmakers fries, looking tasty as always. But we'll see. A little bit of change with the nachos. They're still good, but it's like they seem a bit different.
And this is the only time it's been like that. So like, it wasn't like, it's not like a consistent change, but it just seems like the pulled pork is like less saucy.
Yeah, there's no real sauce on the pulled pork. It's just kind of plain, and the queso tastes a little bit different, but it's still good, just not what it usually is.
You remember the first time when we came in here, we got the Playmakers fries, and we were like so perplexed as to what was going on. Like, is this Caesar dressing? What is this on here? But now we love it.
We get them all the time.
Yeah, it's delicious. It was confusing, but it's delicious. Hey Matt, do you want me to buy you one? $2, $10, $28?
Ropes down, push back, and we are moving. Time for one of our favorite sailaways in the business.
On a beautiful day too.
And in case you've forgotten, recommendation for sailing away from Port Canaveral is the starboard side. You're gonna get all the fun of the ships, the restaurants, the marinas, the observation tower, and then jetty park at the end. Whereas the port side is gonna be a lot of that industrial looking stuff over there, and then a bunch of nothing right at the end.
And starting fights, turning truth to lies. Gotta get up, stop wasting time. Yeah, I wanna run off and fly. And I'll tell myself it's fine to be alone, just to find somewhere that finally feels like home. I hate all this overthinking. The more I swim, the more I'm sinking. Take me to a world of silver. No more heartbreaks, tears, painkillers. Take me somewhere unfamiliar. Bring me back to where we started out. Get me out of now, to where we started out. Get me out of now, to where we started out. Oh no,
You want to know something that's different than 5.5 years ago? I get tired a lot more now than I used to. Came back to the room after sail away. I laid on this bed and I fell asleep for very hours. So we are in the wee nights now. But Matt's hungry, so we're gonna go get some grub. We typically tuck in early at night, so we don't show a lot of nightlife on this channel. But in case you're wondering, it is like 11:30 and Boleros is hopping. There's not a Sorrento's on board, so for late night pizza, you gotta go to Cafe Promenade. And apparently, a lot of other people had the same thought as Matt. Do you crave pizza no more?
I guess you could say that.
Well, I guess you only like halfway crave it because you're only like halfway done eating. Also, look, they had chocolate chip cookies. Hooray! And look, they're like really good soft ones. Here's how you know they're good. You ready? Watch. Gravity bends it. That's how you know that's a good soft chewy cookie. Does that CP stand for Cafe Promenade? Or Cruise Planners? Or Chelsy's Pretty Awesome? You be the judge.
The moon shines above, which can only mean one thing. On night one of a cruise, it's time for night aesthetic, featuring a pressure washer.
Which isn't something that started with our very first vlog, but it happened a little later on. But round 2 on Mariner, we're doing it tonight.
Everybody get up, it's time to slam now. We got a new dam going down. Welcome to the space jet. Wait a minute, no. This is number 32. Clearly to avoid a likeness infringement.
Can't be like Mike. As we leave the serenity of night aesthetic, we're just passing through in the hallway. Do you hear this? I think that's Ellington's up there. Anyways, you can hear the night scene. we will not be attending. Go into your shell, hermit crab. Go into your shell. Well, we're back on the same couch 5.5 years later, on the same cruise ship. How do you feel? Do you feel 5.5 years wiser?
No.
No?
No.
Why? Because you're already like 100% wise like 5 years ago?
No.
Okay, I'm gonna need more than that.
No.
Well, I, for one, enjoyed going down memory lane today, and it did help me, like, it reminded me how, like, far we have gotten in 5 years, and, like, how grateful I am of our growth, how grateful we are of you guys who joined us on Mariner the last time, or joined us along the way in between then and now, and I'm happy we're where we are, and I'm happy to be back, and we're gonna have a great cruise.
Absolutely. So we'll see you back tomorrow on board for day number 2, a day at sea. But until then, we're signing off. Good night and happy travels.
Like always.